Hey there, thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. Thought it was time we had another Lego set. This is Star Wars set 40755. This is the Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder. This set came out last year, and we have 7 minifigs in this because this is one of the sets that contains one of the exclusive 25 years of Lego Star Wars minifigs, along with 3 Rebel Fleet Troopers and 3 Stormtroopers. In an ideal world, I would have lots and lots of these because I love Stormtroopers and army building, but I only ever got one in the end. I seem to recall this, I had to get this online from Lego directly, because it was only in their stores and wasn't anywhere else. Now, you're going to say, Andrew, it's August 2025. Why are you reviewing this set so late? Well, I don't claim to be exactly cutting edge with my Lego reviews, but also I bought this using my wife's credit card, and it's taken me a little while to pay it off because I've had to do all sorts of things like house repairs and stuff like that. So I kind of said to her, and this wasn't her rule, this was my rule, I said that I wouldn't build these Lego sets until I'd paid it off. Well, I've paid it off now, so there you go. So yes, it's horribly late. There's the blurby bottom of the box. There is the one side of the box. There's another side of the box. There's the top of the box, also quite blurby actually, with one of our fleet troopers there. And there's the back of the box. You know, I would have wanted probably a couple of these, at least maybe 4, you know, because I love Stormtroopers, but I only got the one. And this is basically kind of like a riff on sort of previous battle packs that were sold. I seem to recall there was a Rebel Trooper one which had a vehicle very similar to this, and a sort of Stormtrooper one with a dropship that was very similar to this. Anyway, we're going to do building, and then we're going to have a look at it afterwards. You know, I do sort of quite casual Lego reviews on this channel, nothing too serious. And of course, if you're looking for cutting edge stuff, I would suggest you go elsewhere. But we're going to have a look at this. And also, I have a little bit worried that we might have dreaded stickers in here. I guess we'll find out in a minute, won't we? I'll see you in a minute or so. Okay, we're all finished. Let's have a look at the ships first, shall we? So here's the Imperial Dropship, and you kind of get a nice angle here on the nose by the use of a ball joint inside there, and that's the only way that this part is sort of connected. So you can see that there. So that basically slots nicely into there. And now I've got to find out where this piece came from. Where did this piece come from? Where did this piece come from? We'll find out in a minute where that piece came from. Oh, I think I know. I think it came from the bottom of this, actually. Yeah, that's right. There we go. That goes on the bottom of there. So, as I say, that sort of clicks into there and creates a nice little angle. At the back here, we've got this sort of platform that can come out. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure why it does that. Is it like a cargo pallet? I think it might be for standing your troops on, so you can sort of land and kind of deploy them. Don't know why they wouldn't just step off, so that's a little bit weird. But also we have this kind of movable sort of engine kind of vane assembly up here. So we've got these kind of wings here, and this kind of tilts back and forth. which is quite nice. So I suppose if you take that out, I suppose you could sort of have a upward thrust more as opposed to blasting your troops in the face with a rocket. I don't really know. That's a little bit odd. Couple of stud shooters. We don't use those, obviously, because nobody likes stud shooters. Well, I don't anyway. Now, to get a trooper in here to sort of pilot this thing, this is a little bit of a problem that I have with Lego Star Wars sets these days, and I suppose on this one it's not quite so bad because he's kind of at least looking sort of forward, but he basically has to pretty much lie down in the cockpit here. But as I say, not quite so bad on this one because of the angle there. Quite a complex build, to be honest with you. Quite a lot went into this. Lots of little tiny pieces inside. We've got a couple of clips here on the side for mounting spare blasters. But you see, let's assume for the moment that this back section is for mounting. Yeah, okay, so basically what you could do is I suppose you could clip that blaster in there, the spare blaster. Yeah, there we go. So you can hold all three of them, and then you can sort of fly in. You could drop off this weird pallet thing and then take off again. I don't really get the idea of this deployable pallet, if I'm honest with you. But there you go. Right, 3 stormtroopers. We have a brown-faced one. It's a lady, no double face on that one, so single-faced stormtrooper. We have a white-faced guy. I'm pretty certain that's a guy. Yeah, again, no double face on that one. And then finally, for this one, I think this one's a lady. Yeah, slightly more pinky kind of face there. That other guy needs some vitamin D. Again, no double face. Before I look at the other bit, this is the manual. There's 2 manuals in here. This is the manual that goes with this particular part of the build. There are 6 bags in total, and in each bag you build one of the stormtroopers at the outset. And of course we are following the stormtrooper along here in the sort of instructions. So as I say, 3 bags for this particular part of the build. Each bag you build a Stormy. There we go. These instructions, by the way, were very, very creased in the box. Slightly annoying. We do have some stickers on here. There's 3 stickers on each of the main builds. We've got the Imperial sort of cogwheel logo here, here, and here. This is the sticker sheet, and in a minute we'll see the other 3 stickers on the other part of the build. So that's the Imperial half of the build. For part 2, we are building, of course, this sort of Rebel speeder sort of thing. Again, another 3 bags. In the first bag, you build one of the Rebel troopers. In the second bag, you build 2 of the Rebel troopers. And in the third bag, you build something that I will show you in just a minute. But here is the sort of speedery thing, like tank kind of thing. Couple of stud shooters on here. Nice little sort of mobile tank sort of turret thing there. We've got space at the top here to put 1 minifig, and then I've never ever liked these Rebel helmets. They do not stick on the head and hold on properly. You'll notice here that there's a bit of space here to allow the back of this helmet to fit into the set once the guy's on board. But basically, if you want to put these Rebel troopers in, you might as well just take the helmet off, because it's going to fall off at some point anyway, as you just saw. Moving the trooper around will ensure that the helmet falls off. So there we go, room for 3 of those guys. Let's just take them out again. Watch the helmets fall off as soon as you look at them. Basically, there's a control panel up here. There's another control panel in here. 3 stickers again. We've got the Rebel sort of logo on here. Logo on each of these side panels. This is very, very swivelly. So a couple of engines at the back here. No strange deployable pallet. We've got this nice sort of impression of sort of air intakes here for the engines, which is quite cool. And basically some transparent sort of dome pieces underneath here, so you can slide this along on a carpet. And as you'll see, that comes off quite easily as well. So I suppose you could have a variant without the turret, or maybe you could have the turret mounted on a sort of ground defence. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at the troopers. So here we've got a slightly worried kind of looking guy, and these guys have got double faces, and he's not quite so worried. So that's trooper number 1. Here we have a quite grimly determined looking rebel fleet trooper, and just a regular guy at sort of parade rest like that, so slightly different. And then finally we have a dark-skinned lady. That's her sort of resting face, I think. No, I would say that's her resting face, and that face is a slightly not so resting face. There's actually not much difference between the two faces there. Not really sure of the point of that. Finally, of course, we have, and I need to remind myself of the name because I can never remember, QTKT. This is droid QTKT, who I believe... there's all sorts of figures of QTKT. I think she was named after a little girl Star Wars fan who is now sadly deceased, I believe. And this figure, this character, was created in Star Wars in her honour. So she's a pink astromech droid. No rear printing, bit of printing on the front, silver, black and red. Printing all around the top of the dome, of course. And of course, she sits on this 25 years of Lego Star Wars. And the reason for this is that you can link all of the 25 years of Lego Star Wars figures together. And that's one of the reasons I wanted this set, but also because it has stormtroopers in it. Over here, if you're interested, let me just pan up a little bit. Oh no, I've lost control of the camera. Of course. Right, basically, these are all the spare pieces, if you're that way inclined. Yeah, quite an enjoyable build. I would have liked a few more of them because you can never have too many stormtroopers. These are, of course, what are referred to as the Family Guy stormtroopers. This is the current stormtrooper design, the one where you can't actually turn their heads. I think my favourite stormtroopers were probably the ones that we got in the Rebels sets about 10, 12 years ago, something like that. So anyway, yeah, there we go. 2 manuals, 6 bags, 7 minifigs, 2 quite interesting builds. Yeah, quite a lot to like here. It's just a shame that we've got stickers to contend with as usual. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Total Ramblings. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.